What if the secret behind a drama's success isn't hype, but quiet strength? Tonight, we uncover why The Radiant Bloom, led by Xian and Xian, did more than trend. It soothed hearts, sparked intergenerational conversations, and proved that grace can be more powerful than noise. Stay with me, because the real reason it conquered viewers may change how you watch stories forever. Set against the grandeur of the Tang dynasty, The Radiant Bloom unfolds as more than a historical drama. It becomes a meditation on resilience, artistry, and the quiet dignity of human connection. At its heart stands a Yufeng, portrayed by Xian, a woman who transforms loss into purpose, forging a path that defies the silence expected of her era. Opposite her, Xian's Zhang Chongyang is not a savior, but a mirror, an equal who challenges, believes, and ultimately understands. Their relationship grows not from sudden passion, but from shared integrity, like two souls finding rhythm in restraint. Every scene is crafted with painterly care, the soft rustle of silk, the amber light falling across a courtyard, the lingering pause between words. These details breathe authenticity into the story, allowing viewers to step gently into its world rather than being pulled by spectacle. Beneath the visual splendor lies a quiet assertion that strength does not need to shout, and tenderness is its own kind of power. In a time when many stories chase speed and noise, The Radiant Bloom dares to slow down, inviting audiences to feel rather than merely watch, to listen not just to dialogue but to silence itself. What truly set The Radiant Bloom apart was not just its elegance, but its trust in the intelligence and emotions of its audience. While many dramas chase instant virality, this one earned loyalty, a slower, deeper form of success that endures beyond numbers. Viewers didn't simply watch, they stayed, rewatched, and discussed. In an industry dominated by fleeting trends, The Radiant Bloom built something rarer, a relationship of respect. Its advertising model became a quiet revolution in itself. Rather than interrupting the story, the series invited brands to join its atmosphere, weaving subtle 5-second visuals, jeweled accessories, delicate fragrances, hand-painted scrolls, into the corners of its world. Every product appeared as part of the aesthetic, not an intrusion. This harmony between art and commerce proved a powerful lesson. Audiences do not reject marketing, they reject what feels careless. When beauty and integrity align, even sponsorship becomes storytelling. Beyond its commercial ingenuity lay an emotional economy that few productions achieve. By honoring silence, patience, and authenticity, the show inspired a kind of viewer devotion impossible to buy. Online discussions turned into reflections on ethics, ambition, and love's gentler forms. For many, watching The Radiant Bloom became less about escapism and more about rediscovering calm, a reminder that serenity has a strength of its own. In that sense, its triumph extended far beyond charts or earnings. It stood apart because it redefined what success in entertainment could mean, not only profitability, but presence, not only reach, but resonance. It showed that when storytelling respects both its craft and its audience, the reward is timelessness, the kind of connection that continues to bloom long after the final scene fades. At the emotional center of The Radiant Bloom lies a connection so genuine that it transcends performance. Xian and Xian do not act as two characters bound by a scripted romance. They inhabit a quiet, living understanding that unfolds in gestures more eloquent than dialogue. Their chemistry is not the kind that erupts in spectacle or grand declarations, but one that grows in stillness, in the pauses between words, in the glances that hold both distance and longing, in the restraint that speaks of trust rather than tension. This emotional precision allows the audience to feel rather than simply observe, to sense the invisible current running beneath every exchange. Xian's He Yufeng is a portrait of strength laced with vulnerability. Her courage does not roar, it endures. Opposite her, Xian's Zhang Chongyang carries the tenderness of a man who loves without possessing, who understands that true devotion sometimes means standing beside rather than in front. Together, they redefine love not as a rescue, but as recognition, the meeting of two souls that see one another clearly, flaws and all. This portrayal resonates deeply with audiences weary of exaggerated romance. It offers something quieter, yet infinitely more powerful, the grace of emotional maturity. In a world obsessed with noise, The Radiant Bloom reminds us of the beauty of subtlety. Its most powerful scenes are those where nothing happens, yet everything changes, when a shared silence says more than a monologue ever could. Through Xian and Xian's unspoken harmony, the series captures a truth that lingers long after the screen fades, that love, at its purest, is not performance or possession, but presence, the gentle art of being fully seen, and fully seeing in return. What makes the radiant bloom endure beyond its screen time is how it inspires new forms of reflection and daily ritual, transforming simple acts into extensions of the story's spirit. Across cities and languages, viewers have turned their admiration into quiet practices of mindfulness. Some host intimate Tang evenings at home, lighting a candle, brewing tea, and watching an episode in silence. It has become a personal ceremony, a return to calm in an age of constant motion. Others began to mirror the show's serene palette in their own lives, soft linens replacing cluttered patterns, natural fabrics over synthetic sheen. Fashion became an act of well-being, echoing He Yufeng's poise and reminding audiences that elegance is not excess but balance. Educational circles, too, have adopted the drama as a cultural text. University discussions now explore how the radiant bloom depicts female autonomy without rebellion, ambition without aggression. Teachers use its characters to start conversations on ethical leadership and empathy. In family living rooms, grandparents, parents, and grandchildren watch together, finding common ground in the show's universal language of patience and respect. It bridges generations not through nostalgia, but through shared humanity. In online spaces, fans have moved beyond admiration to creation. Rather than copying costumes, they craft art pieces inspired by the emotional color palette, paintings, handmade jewelry, even musical reinterpretations that translate the drama's restraint into melody. The audience no longer consumes, they converse. The show becomes a living dialogue between art and life. There is also a quieter psychological impact. Many viewers, especially older ones, describe how watching the radiant bloom helped them rediscover stillness. Amid a media landscape that often glorifies speed and conflict, its gentle rhythm feels like exhaling after years of holding breath. It has become, in its own way, a form of soft therapy, teaching that healing can happen through beauty, that art can steady the heart. These ripples are the true measure of its originality. The radiant bloom does not end with its finale. It continues wherever someone chooses grace over noise, thoughtfulness over haste, and sincerity over spectacle. In that sense, it is no longer just a story. It is a state of being, quietly influencing how thousands choose to live, love, and see the world anew.
Dignity Travel Well.
Across cultures, respect in relationships remains universally compelling. Craft defeats haste. When creators trust the audience responds in kind.
Strength quand look gentle.
He Yufeng reminds us that tenderness and tenacity are not opposites. Community sustains art. Discussions, edits, book club-style meetups. These keep a story alive long after the credits roll.
On-screen text, gentle, hold your nerve. Hold your grâce.
Perhaps the secret behind Yang Zi and Xian's unbreakable bond, both in character and craft, isn't perfection, but presence. They meet the moment with care, and the moment meets them back. That is why the radiant bloom still glows, not because it shouts, but because it listens. If this perspective resonated with you, we'd be honored to have you with us. Please subscribe to News Star Xian, tap the bell for thoughtful deep dives, and share this video with someone who loves stories told with heart. Thank you for watching. Stay well, stay curious, and keep your light blooming.